This Shopify store was stuck at $20K per month for 6 months straight. And enough was enough, so he decided to join my mentorship and we put him through our system and boom, he was doing 140K months before he knew it. That's more than a 7x return on his growth. And I'm gonna be telling you the exact path that we took to be able to get him there with Facebook and TikTok ads. You see, so many brands have the potential of breaking through and getting to that next level, but very few know the steps that they need to take to get there. So in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through everything that you need to know to scale your store. All right, so here we are, we're looking at some of his Shopify analytics, and as you can see, he was stuck at around 20K per month for about 6 months straight. Very little growth, very stagnant, and most Shopify stores hit a plateau and they don't really know what steps to take next. Once he joined our mentorship around July, you can start to see where the sales started to take off. And so we were hitting record months every month. Here's another record month, another one. We got up to 80K, 100K, and then we hit some resistance during the holidays because a lot of advertisers around this time are spending more money, and we were maintaining around 100K months. And then once we got back into January, things started to take off again, and we made some adjustments and now are up to 140K months. As you can see, finished last February at $141,000. or about $142,000. And what's really cool about this, and I absolutely love it, not only did we get him to these crazy record months, but this peak right here where he did nearly $10,000 in a single day, which is nearly more than half what he was doing in his months before working with us, but that was actually his birthday. So even better, he had a record sales day on his birthday as well. And just to highlight where we're at with the Facebook ads and the timeline that we look at, here's the amount spent. And as you can see, prior, he was just maintaining his spend around 200 to 250 daily. Very little growth was happening here. His purchase conversion value, he was making about $100 to $250 per day. And there was a lot of fluctuations in here. And what we did was we came in, we started to adjust his campaigns, his audiences, and his ads, and started to scale up. And so you can see where the sales start to really trend all the way up. And then we get into those busy months during the holidays. And then we started to scale up some more and achieve even crazier growth. And what's great about this is even though ad spend is actually decreasing here, revenue is even spiking even more. And that's a really good sign because that means his purchase return on ad spend is actually going up even higher, even while scaling and being able to achieve this growth. So not only are we being able to increase the sales, but we're also getting a higher return on ad spend, better purchase conversion rates, and achieving a higher profitability mark while at scale. And let's go ahead and break down month by month what we did with his Facebook ads. So here we are in May when he was doing those consistent 20K months. And you can see that he was really only running one campaign and he had 3 audiences going. He had a broad audience, and broad audiences are really good for scaling. And he had 2 other audiences here. Not very much is going on. There's not any retargeting. There's not much testing. And when we go ahead and look at some of these ads, he really only had one ad variant. And so you can see it was just a simple video ad that he was running. There wasn't much creative strategy going on here, and there was a lot that could be done with his account. So let's go ahead and jump into July when we started to make these adjustments. So this is the first month that we started going in and making changes with him. And we ended up adding in a retargeting because you want to have a retargeting to capture additional traffic and low-hanging fruit. If you're not running a retargeting campaign, it can definitely be one of the quickest ways to add additional revenue to your business. And so that was one of the very first things that we did. And you can see that we added in these retargeting audiences like website visitors, engagers from his Instagram and Facebook page. We added an add to cart, a purchase 180 day. And within each of these ad sets, we had multiple ad creatives. Not only were we leveraging the videos he had, but we also had him go in and start creating ad formats that are proven to convert. And if you don't know the 5 ad formats that are proven to convert, I highly recommend checking out this video here because it's a great entry ticket to being able to know what 5 ad formats you need to be able to scale. And so he started implementing those. And as you can see, this is a breakdown of his actual product. We incorporated a strong headline, say goodbye to joint pain, because he wasn't really announcing his value prop and he wasn't using image ads. He had one video, and videos are great, but you want a mixture of content to be able to add a balance to your account and achieve more scale because different creative formats resonate with different people. Then we broke down the actual benefits, like reduces inflammation, and we called out the ingredients. So that way people know what they're getting and what they're receiving and what it's going to do for them. And then we have try Juicy Joint risk-free, which is his product, and get out of pain and on with life. So we're very focused around what the benefit is. A lot of people just try to sell a product and assume people know. In this case, we actually highlight all of the things that people truly need to find out so that way they can make a decision in the buying process. Not only that, but we incorporated a review, so that way there's some social proof and credibility there from a customer's perspective. And as you can see, we had another creative, very similar, get rid of joint pain, try risk-free. Very simple ad creative here. And we also started to incorporate some comparison ads where he was comparing his product against a competitor's. And alongside those retargeting, when we go back into his scaling audiences, you can see that we started to test some additional audiences, because he wasn't doing much creative testing and there was definitely opportunities to find audiences that were converting. And as you can see, we found some more audiences like BMX, dads, motocross that were getting much more purchases than before. And that actually helped him improve his overall broad campaign. And you can see the ad spend during the testing process was about a 1.88, nothing insane, but he does have a high returning customer rate. So we know the ROAS on the LTV is going to be much, much higher, around a 3 to 5x, because people will buy this product over and over again. He's spending about $12,000 that month. Then in August, we did some more scaling, added about $8,000 in additional spend. And this is where we started to incorporate some lookalikes into testing. Lookalikes are a great way for you to capture customers who are similar to the ones you've previously had. We were doing 1% based off his website visitors and email list and purchases. And you can see that we were doing some optimization at this point. So these were averaging 41 and 35. These were getting much better cost per purchase. So you can see that these were eventually turned off. And we go inside here now, you can see that we ramped up from just 3 creatives to 5 creatives in the second month to now having 13 different ad creatives. Because the more creative testing we can do, the more we can find out on what's working. And we had him create some more backstory ads, which is essentially a founder story where you share how you started the brand. This resonates really well with people. You can start to see that a few purchases were coming in on those videos alongside some of the comparisons. And then we started to scale up the main audiences. I called out those specific audiences that were converting best, and those are the ones we started to focus on. And so you can see his costs are starting to come down on these. They're getting really dialed in. He's getting a lot more purchase volume. So these are much more scalable. And you can start to see all of these ads are really converting. And now we are actually finding ads like this one at a $20 cost per purchase. And this allows us to find ad creatives that we can start to scale up long term. And so we start to get into September, where we hit even higher record months. We spent about the same amount, but we got an improvement in his ROAS to nearly a 2x plus on multiple audiences. His retargeting is now converting. If you remember in previous months, his retargeting wasn't doing that well. Well, now all 4 of his retargeting audiences are taking off because we're scaling up, we have more traffic, we're capturing more people, and this is building up his overall revenue. And you can see all of these ads are taking off, every single one of them. And his cost per purchase is now in the $20 range. And if one ad creative fails, we have so many more that are working. So it adds very consistent sales revenue and makes it very predictable for the Shopify store to scale. And because of that, we were able to go into future months, like in October, where we were able to add an additional $10,000 in spend. What most people don't understand during the scaling process is if you don't have enough creatives and you start to scale up, once they fatigue, you'll see a huge drop off in revenue and things start to get out of place. If you want to make your ad account very consistent, you have to have a big pipeline of testing going to be able to fuel the additional growth. And even with an increase of $10,000 on these, we were able to launch an Advantage Plus for special holiday sales, where you can start to see this is a early Black Friday sale. And we launched this early because we wanted to be ahead of all of the competition who usually only runs a week sale. This gave us enough time to optimize and get his costs where we wanted them to be. And then going into November, things really started to take off. We added almost an additional $10,000 in spend. He's spending about $37,000 now. The holiday sale is in full swing. We got a few hundred purchases here. We have audience testing going to see what's working best, multiple audiences to find out. And eventually all of these would be turned off and combined into a CBO to unlock future spend. And so you can see the scale audience where we've gotten down to those top 3 audiences. And costs started to rise here as well, just with the scaling. But what you'll find is once we got up to this number, we were able to optimize and then bring down his cost. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into January, where you can see that we launched an Advantage Plus scaling audience, and this is where it takes all of your data and optimizes for you. Now, at this point in January, there's a lot going on in his ad account. We're at 43,000 in monthly spend now. He's hitting, 120K months at this point. And now what we can do is really optimize the entire account, consolidate it, unlock a much higher ROAS. So as you can see here, going into February, we're able to get a much better return on ad spend with a much lower spend and be able to get a way higher return on ad spend because of the optimizations we'll end up doing. So you see we have all these campaigns, he's hitting a lot of people, and we go into February and we start to switch everything over to CBO, where we have international audiences going now. We're expanding into other countries. And that process is going and testing. It's a much higher cost per purchase, but that's because we're hitting new markets. But you can see that Advantage Plus went from nearly $50 cost per purchase to being cut in half down to $26. And that's because of all the optimizations we were able to do. We cut down to the best performing ads. And when we're looking at retargeting spend, it's gone way up, and we're only focusing on 2 audiences now. And we can start to look at the back half of this month, where he's now averaging nearly a 3x return on ad spend, spending $16,000, about $32K per month, and achieving a incredible ROAS, where he's getting a 4x on this audience, which is a Valentine's Day sale, because we have the Black Friday sale, the Labor Day sale, and the Christmas sale, where we now have enough data to know exactly what ad creatives are going to convert and be able to implement those with Advantage Plus, because his campaign data now has enough information to optimize. And you can now see his Advantage Plus averaging a 3x return on ad spend. So we're already now spending 35 to 40K months and are getting a double return on ad spend compared to what he used to do at half the spend. So we're able to scale up spend, get a much higher return on ad spend, and be able to get him to 140K months just off of this budget alone. So you can really start to see the evolution of this account from the ad creative testing, the audience testing, expanding his audiences into Advantage Plus, retargeting, going to CBO where the budgets are being migrated based off the audiences. Every stage and every month has a different growth timeline, and there's different things you need to do based off of your data. You can have consistent audiences, but there's always ways to unlock more growth if you know exactly what changes and tweaks to make. And there's still a lot to do to this account. We could even get him to a 3.5x ROAS here pretty soon, and even a 4x ROAS while spending 40 to 50K months, and be able to start cranking at 200K per month. And around this time, we started doing some testing on his TikTok account. TikTok is a great way for you to be able to find videos that convert. And as you can see, here's a video.
Herniated disc. Took 2 droppers of this extract every single day. Here's what would happen. During the first week, discomfort may be reduced for the first time in years, as the powerful anti-inflammatory herbs relieve pressure on the nerve of the inflamed disc. After the second week,
this video was generated with AI, which is absolutely incredible, and it was able to do 20,000 views and get a few $100s in sales. And we were able to leverage that video because we knew he was getting purchases, and then place it in his Facebook and TikTok ads, and his ROAS was able to go up to a 3x return on ad spend, even a 5x return on ad spend on this creative specifically. So as you can see, TikTok is a great way to test videos to see what gets view volume and sales, and then leverage that in your paid ads. And if you want to see how to create AI-based videos with your ads, then definitely make sure to check out this video here, because it will explain everything you need to know. Now, the next stage of this account is really going to come down to a few things. The first thing is improving his brand and website, so that way we can achieve upwards of a 5% conversion rate, where we're able to make it easier for people to add additional items to cart and get higher AOVs. This will help us get to those 200K, 300K months, and then adding in TikTok videos that are proven to convert, that'll achieve a much higher return on ad spend than these standard formats that we already have in the account right now. And then being able to launch TikTok ads and start to optimize there, because now that we got Facebook spending 30 to 50K months and achieving a much higher return on ad spend, we can now launch TikTok ads and be able to scale to 5 to 10K monthly and start to achieve some of the same growth there. And if we get 2 platforms, we're not only diversifying ourselves, but we're unlocking an enormous amount of opportunity to be able to go to the 200 to 500K monthly mark. And if you're interested in seeing that journey and us breaking down a part 2 for when we start to achieve those numbers, definitely make sure to subscribe so that way you can check out that video, because we'll be making a series on this so that way you can track one of our mentorship clients' growth and progress over the course of the next few months. And if you really enjoyed this video and want to see more breakdowns of other clients we've helped scale, like Petrold here, where we took them from 0 to 750K per month in a single year, then definitely make sure to check out that series, because it's a 2-part video where we break down everything we did for that ad account to be able to get them to those numbers. And believe it or not, it's very similar to what we're doing with this client right now, except you can actually see the full progress where we actually get into the TikTok ads and take it even further. And if you want us to do the same with your store, then definitely make sure to apply for my one-on-one ads mastery mentorship, where we show you everything you need to know around your Facebook ads, your creative, your Shopify conversion rate, and how to unlock scale through viral videos and ads to be able to convert on both Facebook and TikTok. So go ahead and book a call below this video if you're interested in having us do that for you. And once again, it's your favorite digital marketer here, Chase Chappell. Cheers and bye y'all.